guessed it, Joel Davis Media Network. If it's your first time tuning in to my broadcast, do me a favor and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell up top. Please like and share. Please like and share. Now, I'm waiting for some people to come in here beforehand. I'm about to go ahead on here now. I got to share this. Hopefully, I can get this out there to the powers that be. And I'm going to do this justice because this is a situation that needs to be discussed and needs to be addressed. I want to give a shout out to all of the folks that have been following the case over here in Jessup. Before I go in, I want you guys to know something. It is very, very hard for a parent to bury their child, especially when a child is young and got their whole life ahead of them. And it's extremely upsetting is when you are trying to tell people information about your child, especially the authorities, and they disregard of what you are saying. Now, this young man's mother, Mrs. D, is one of the strongest people I've seen as a mother. Many mothers would have really lost their mind knowing that somebody is out here not listening to them, trying to tell them that their child is not capable of doing an accidental death by themselves. And there's other things I have to say about this case, which I'm going to get you up to speed because some of you might not know about this case, but I've been talking about this and I think it needs to be known. So let's do a deep dive on how we got here. So I want to get the dates right. I don't want to mess this up because, again, this is from my local area. A lot of people are looking for me to report this and to report this in a manner that's not only respectable to the families, to the family that have lost a precious soul, but to also put out awareness of what's going on locally right now to this case. And keep in mind, guys, I'm no race hustler, okay? I'm not one of those guys that every time you turn around, I'm always saying racism, racism, racism. I don't rock like that. I was I was raised in a conservative environment, basically by my great grandmother. I mean, even though, yeah, she had her, her things about this, that, and the third, but most of the time, she always taught me that you judge people by how they carry themselves. And a lot of people will not do that because a lot of people likes to shift accountability. So let's talk about what happened. Now Noah Bush was a loving young man who family have seen grow up to be 8 years of age. Okay? At 8 years of age, he was athletic. He loved to have fun. He had other siblings around him. And he loved his mother and his father. Okay? Like any other 8-year-old. Now, he was big for his age. He was approximately 5'4". And he has been known to just whatever he wanted to put his mind to do, he could do it. Now, like any kid his age, we already know we all been 8, 9, 10, 11, even 12 years of age. We have spats with neighborhood kids. It happens. 1 minute, one wants to be tougher than the other, or we don't like each other 1 minute, and the next day we're supposed to make up and be friends. The worst thing that ever happened would be maybe somewhat of a childhood fist fight, but everybody goes home and everybody cools off. Or our parents to get involved, talk with us, guide us to try to be loving and caring towards our neighbor. On May 15th, 2024, hot summer day, spring day, the mother is told that her young son, Noah, wanted to play and interact with the kids in the neighborhood. Now, one of the kids in that neighborhood apparently has been bullying Noah, and mom, like any mom would do, like, yo, I don't want you dealing with that young man because he got a bullying problem. But you know how kids are, and we were kids ourselves. The kid said, yeah, mom, everything's cool. We're back friends. We're going to have our fun. I'll be back. Well, mom is like anybody that lives out in the country. And I hear a lot of people want to know, well, where was the parent at, or why the children unattended? You're living out in the southeast Georgia. Southeast Georgia is the country, okay? Dirt roads, kids ride bicycles, four-wheelers, whatever. Have fun on those back roads and come back to the house because, again, it's South Georgia. Your cops are always riding around on the dirt roads and stuff, checking this, that, and the third. It's just good. It's like Mayberry. Well, here it comes towards nightfall, and mom is not getting any word of where her son is. So mom is panicking. She's trying to figure out, where's my son? She touched base with the little boys, possibly the neighbors that seen her son last. They probably told her, oh, we ain't seen him, or he went this way, that way. So like anybody know that there's a young child missing, and this is the thing about in the South. When there's a young child missing, no matter what age it is, if under the age of 18, everybody's going to get out and search. So people are searching. People are looking for this young, beautiful little boy. Okay, mama is like any other mother. Hopefully he'll find him. Maybe he got lost. Maybe he went out in the wooded area, whatever. He's 8 years old. It happens. May 16th, 2024, she gets word that her baby is no longer with us. Found him in a construction pit in water. Accidental drowning. Meantime, this boy's shoes was off his feet. Now, this mother knows her child. Okay, she knows his habits. She knows his likes and dislikes. And she basically told this sheriff, my son did not accidentally drown himself. My son is afraid of water. My son is afraid of water. I want y'all to hear the words I'm saying here. This is a mother that knows her child. See, the thing that people fail to realize, that a real mother, I don't care what race you is, black, brown, polka dot, whatever, you know your child if you're feeding them, clothing them, and instilling values in them. So when you look your other neighbor or whoever's supposed to be over the case, give me 1 second, y'all. I'm back, guys. I had to take a quick thing right quick because my wife had to step out. She don't like being on camera out of respect of her. But getting back to what I'm saying, and I'll put it back on myself in a minute. You are telling these people that you know your child did not go out here and did an accidental drowning. He doesn't like water. He doesn't participate in water. He doesn't deal with water. And you feel like that there's more to the story. You also tell the parent, the people that is supposed to be in charge of investigating this case, detectives, the sheriffs, whoever they are, my child was around other juvenile children and they've had run-ins and physical altercations in the past where my son was targeted. Your job is supposed to investigate all of that. That's what you're supposed to do. But that was not done in Noah Bush case at first. The family was told accidental drowning, case closed. But this mother knew that that was not it. And she pushed through. And she pushed through by making noise, wanting a second opinion. The GBI involved. Now, if you don't know what the GBI is involved down in South, especially in Georgia, it's called the Georgia Bureau of Investigations. How much of this story is starting to sound like Ahmaud Arbery? Yep. Even though I get a lot of flack from other conservatives from time to time about how I stood on business on Ahmaud Arbery, that's just what I stood business on, because I know the difference between some bullshit racism and real racism. I mean, getting at that part. Now, this mother got that taken care of. But still, you got this sheriff out here bullshitting around. Bullshitting around. Yeah, I'm going to say it like it is. Bullshitting around. And because of this, she had to get a lawyer involved. Shout out to Davis and Bozeman. Now, I'm quite sure that they heard about this case and they probably did what they had to do, like real stand-up men and women that have children, and they went and decided to get a private investigator. So you got private investigators working parallel now with this so-called sheriff who moving at a slow snail's pace. Now, remember I told y'all there was a video out there, and you can see it. It's all on. It's public knowledge. You can look up the videos all over Facebook about the young children involved in this mess, basically telling on themselves on the camera, or the ring camera. But either way it goes, after this woman had to put herself through the pain of burying her child, not being able to grieve, and had to go out here and get her own lawyer who had to provide an investigator to finally get a chance to get answers. Hold on for 1 second. There's nobody out there. See? Nobody out there. Sorry, my dog. But anyway, she got the answers after sitting down with Mr. Higgins, the DA. Now, this is where we know so far, based upon what the DA and the news conference had provided for us about this case. Okay? So, what we know is that there were two individuals, young boys involved, age 10 and 11 years of age. And y'all give me a minute here and let me pull up what they said about that. Now, they were arrested the day before, yesterday. But this is what the report came out to be. And this is from Sheriff R.E. Chuck Mosley over Wayne County. Okay. Now, he talked to the DA. Now, the DA he's talking to is not the same DA that handled Ahmaud Arbery, but the new guy. I want to say Mr. Higgins. I don't know his first name, but I know his last name is Higgins. So they said on July 8th, 2024, the Wayne County Sheriff Office received a long-awaited autopsy report from the GBI of the condition of Noah's body. This report confirmed the absence of any injuries to his body that would be consistent with the fight or use of weapons to injure him. The medical examiner explained his findings detailed and ruled the cause of death as drowning. But due to the information discovered in our investigation, the manner of death was ruled as homicide. The finding was based on the fact that one of the two individuals whom were with Noah pushed him in the deep portion of the bar pit they were waiting in. So that's how that happened. Now, these are 10-year-olds and 11-year-olds. Now, here's the charges. The first juvenile, that's 11, the oldest one. He's charged is simple battery, involuntary manslaughter, concealing the death of another, criminal trespass. The second juvenile is 10 years old, is concealing the death of another and criminal trespass. Now, a lot of people are upset because these kids' parent, the mother, is not being held accountable. That they only arrested her, not related to this, but for truancy. Now, the lady that allegedly children is involved, which is again all public record, is Miss Natalie Dawn. Now, again, she's arrested for truancy because the kids has not been properly going to school, which I don't know why you wait towards the end of the year to arrest a parent for truancy when unless they are trying to get more information and see what all that she is involved in. Guys, listen. This is a tragedy in so many words. And let me tell you why it's a tragedy. Because these young boys are so young. They're 10 and 11 years old. And I understand how the mother feel and the family feel. I can imagine. I can't understand it because I never lost a child. And I'm not a mother. But I can imagine the pain that this woman is going through. Knowing that the little neighborhood boys that were supposed to be his friends committed this act. But at the end of the day, she has every right to push that someone gets held accountable. Now, allegedly, under the laws that I've researched with Georgia, they're due to the children's ages, they can't be charged with murder because they're under the age of 13. I mean, I don't know how it would work if they were tied up in court, maybe try to wait till they turn 13 and try to go for that there. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. That's not my wheelhouse. But I do know that I agree with the mother in the community that the mother of these boys needs accountability. Needs to be held accountable. I mean, let's talk about some of the instances that's recently happened about parents getting held accountable because of the death that their children has caused because of their misleadership. Remember the kid that shot up the school in Michigan, not far from Detroit? His parents got sentenced to 20 plus years in prison for the deaths that he caused. That's right, 20 plus years in prison. Another thing I feel like about this case is that it shouldn't even be tried in Wayne County. Wayne County shouldn't even have this case because apparently right now they dropped the ball in so many ways. First off, you ignored the mother trying to tell you what's going on. Why is it that this is like the third or fourth crime in South Georgia around these neighboring South Georgia areas near Glenn County, Wayne, Appleton, all these other counties out here, that if someone black dies by the hand of a person that is white, that black folks don't get the same type of consideration? Why is it as well as a class issue if it's someone that is broke and poor that ain't got a whole lot of loot, child gets killed or hurt real bad by someone with money in these southern regions that I just named? It goes back to the police want to move at a snail's pace. So when I see comments on these sections with the community section where some people say, oh, well, it's not racism, it's listen, well, then what is it then? Because the pattern don't lie. It don't lie. It's just like if you in an abusive relationship and someone keeps telling you, I love you, baby, I do, I love you, I'll never put my hands on you again. But every time you turn around, this joker putting their hands on you. But he keeps telling you at the end of the day, oh, no, I'm not abusing you, baby. You know, I just be mad, that's all. I just lose it. No, that's abuse. I thought that with Ahmaud Arbery's story, we learned the lessons. I thought that these people of power, these sheriffs, these chiefs, these whoever they are, would have a keen ear to listen to the voices of their minorities in their community, whether they're black people, Hispanic people, Asian people, whatever you want to call yourself as a minority in the community. But unfortunately, we're not seeing that. We're seeing the opposite. Now, I want to give a shout out to Wayne County. They've been protesting peacefully. They ain't been acting crazy. They ain't out here tearing up none of their community. They're doing peaceful protests. They just want answers like everybody else. Why is it that the children that we love, or the loved ones that we love, if they're not a certain color code, nobody's giving a damn? And here's another thing I'm surprised of. Where are the race hustlers at? The ones that claim that they love these type of stories so much and it's supposedly rapping. I don't hear nothing from none of these guys. It's been in the shade room. It's been the whole state of Georgia all the way up to Atlanta. I ain't seen no one yet come down these powerful, I'm so gun-ho pro-black, come down and try to get answers for this mother. This mother is doing this on her own with the community. And you know what's crazy? Speaking of all this proneness, I see more of the white folks outraged about this outside of the community than it is the black folks. So you tell me what's real. But I digress. That's another topic. But I do know this. This is shameful. This should have never came to this. When that mother said that I do not believe that my child went in that water by themselves, the first response should have been to those from the detectives, the sheriff, and everyone down. Before we rule anything accidental or whatever, we are going to get to the truth. And you will get the truth, and we will be transparent. That's what you do to reassure a mother. You already know what the relationship is right now in America with black and white, Hispanic and white, and all this stuff. You should be defining the narrative. Now you got a community of minority people that's now really not going to trust you, because you dropped the ball on a situation that could have been easily checked out. You had witnesses coming to you telling you that there's video footage. I'm just disappointed, man. I really am. I really thought that we got past some of this shit. You know, I've been bragging for years that we had made advances to where, at least in the racism category, that at least when it comes to children, we would all be on the damn same page. But I guess that was a lie too. That's all good, Never. I appreciate you. It just irks me that this is what it had to get down to. And I want to give a shout out to Miss Kaylee Klein. She has been a real one. And let me tell you why I say she's a real one. She has been fighting for this family like no one's business. She has not let up. She has been putting it out there that she believes that this child was railroaded. And let me tell you something. That they were trying to railroad the family. You don't find many people like that. And yes, she's a white American woman. But you know what? You can tell that she's got God on her side, because she's been working the net, exposing the truth. And we need more people like that. She's been at every organizational march, all that stuff. Now I'm gonna try to get to the one next weekend that they have it. I'm gonna try to find a way. Y'all know I don't. My transportation is a little sticky right now. But I'm gonna try to find a way to get up there and try to do some footage and stuff, and try to talk with the family. And listen, y'all need to share this story because people need to be aware of what's going on out here. And here's a warning to a lot of these parents out here. If your child having trouble with another kid that's being a bully, 9 times out of 10, I'm not saying all the time, but 9 times out of 10, that kid does not have good direction at home. And when they don't have good direction at home, they're not going to change. They're going to continue to be that way. Do what you got to do to keep your kid from that type of situation. Or if they do play with them, make sure you monitor them closely. Because this right here is what happens. And again, I still say fathers need to be in the home. This video of these little boys fighting little kids in school. In fact, there's even alleged rumors that one of the kids was bragging about killing Noah before he got out of school for the summer. You know how horrible that is? 11 or 10-year-old bragging about a 10 or 11-year-old bragging about killing another kid? That's scary. And then they got both of them. One is on a $10,000 bond and one's on a $5,000 bond. Listen, I don't know about how the process work of releasing them into custody of their parent. I would not release those kids back in that environment. I'm sorry. Those kids would have to be released in a foster home and get some counseling, because no kid, you cannot tell me that these kids picked this shit up out of nowhere. This had to be seeing stuff they don't need to be seeing and hearing stuff they don't need to be hearing. Because kids are going to gravitate to what they see out of their own eyes. Everybody knows this, even when you yourself was a kid. When I was a kid, I loved comic books. I gravitated to comic books. I wanted to be a superhero. You know what I'm saying? I want to be that, and I like the war stories. I wanted to fight in wars while I joined the military. Vice versa. Any kid today, especially today's kids, they're going to go by what they see. And so these kids was failed from the get-go. And you know what's even more scarier? I don't think these kids can be rehabilitated if they do get sent off to juvie hall. Because they're going to have this in the back of their head for the rest of their life. That they killed a child. Do you know how psychologically fucked up that is? I'm sorry. The parent need to be held accountable. If it was my kid that did something like this, I would definitely be at the mercy of the courts. I'll be like, listen, do what y'all got to do. I messed up, man. I failed these children. Some kind of way. And let me tell you what else that people not understanding too. When your children, you don't take time to teach your children right from wrong and give them values in these situations like this. Do you really know that the family can come back and sue your ass? Civil court's a bitch, okay? They can sue you to the point to where every time you work for the rest of your life, damn near all your money goes to them. That's right. You only have enough to just put food in your mouth. And that's it. That can happen. I've seen cases like that where people lost everything because their children fucked up and they didn't stop the issues before it got out of hand. And that's what's been happening. These kids been doing this for a long time. Oh, there was prior complaints, never. Everybody complained about these kids in that neighborhood. But I was told these kids was menaces, not in the neighborhood, but in school. These kids was little menaces. Every time you turn around, they was into something. And the mama was in La La Land, I guess, because she ain't did a great job. Because again, when you raising kids, you gotta have fathers in the home. And then here's another thing that I also found out during one of the videos, and you can look up the lady's name I told y'all about, Miss Kaylee Klein, Klein with a C, is that one of the young boys had the nerve to go in front of the judge yesterday and wore the boy's shoes that was stolen from him during the night of the assault, of the murder. That's cold-blooded, bro. That's cold-blooded. What parent think that was okay? My son come in with some new ass shoes and I ain't bought them, and he 10 or 11 years old. You gonna tell me something? Yeah, allegedly. That's what I've been told. What was stated in the video. Again, watch the stories from this young lady. Like I said, Kaylee Klein. She's on Facebook. You can follow her. Kaylee, Kaylie, capital CLINE. She is really pushing the metal. She's the one that's been helping getting this thing out. She is not playing. She is standing up on business for the sake of this child. And this is a blessing to have somebody do that, because most people don't do that. Most people don't even want to get involved in something like this. They say they care, but as soon as that baby get buried, they doing on to their own life. Ain't my problem. So shout out to her. And this is just sad, man. Yeah, never. Oh, now you're looking it up now. Yeah, never. These parents were nothing. Listen, these boys that's involved in this mess, their parent was not no Boy Scout. Now again, I think they may be brothers. I may be wrong, but I don't know their names. And even if I did, I am not privy to say their names, because in the state of Georgia, you cannot release the name of the individuals that involved if they are juveniles, unless they are charged as adults. And in this case, these young boys will be charged as juveniles. So as far as I know right now, based upon the laws of Georgia. So I would not be privy to tell their name. I mean, I know their name, but I'm not going to state it. That's not my, I'm not going to get in trouble for that. But I do know their mother. That's public record. She's currently, what I was told, she got arrested for truancy. I don't know if she bonded out or not, but yeah. Yeah, young scholars. Never, these boys were no scholars. These young boys was acting the fool. They ain't had no guidance. Like I said, no father in the home. Now, I don't know if she claims she was in a relationship, but you know how that goes with, you know, with guys coming in relationships. And I mean, it was a fresh relationship anyway. He probably was like, I ain't fooling with them damn jokers. I mean, who wants rowdy kids? Because 10, 11-year-olds, boy, that's a very tough time to try to navigate, to rein them in. You can rein them in at 7 and 8, 9, or even 10, even in 7, 8, 9, yeah. But when they start getting that pre-teen age of 10 and 11, it's a little harder, because they start getting more and more determined to push the limit on your ass. So, yeah. That's why fathers, y'all need to stay in these homes, man. Mothers, you need to try to let these fathers stay in the home. If the man is halfway decent and he's not putting you through physical abuse or mental abuse that is so bad that you can't function on the day, then you need to stick it out, work it out, and help raise these kids till they get to be adults and be successful. Now after that, if you still feel like that he ain't about nothing, then go on and y'all go your separate ways. But these kids today need two parents, bro. Because this one parent shit ain't helping. And I'm just telling you what I've seen, because being down south, and I will tell you now in South Georgia, and I look at all races here, that have two-parent homes, especially white kids that have two-parent homes. They are very well mannered, just like these black kids that are well mannered. They're two-parent homes because they already know dad ain't gonna play with their ass. Dad's gonna give it to them straight with no chaser. Dad's gonna be the one that's gonna take the game system and lock it up. Dad gonna be the one to take the computer out the room and lock it up for a week. Dad gonna be the one to tell them, no, you cannot hang over to your cousin's house and get in the pool this weekend because you didn't do what you're supposed to do. Dad holds people accountable. Mama can do but so much. Yeah, mama might raise Cain and fuss at you, but ain't nothing like that man's voice. When that man look you in the eye and says enough, and look at you like with terror, you know how your daddy used to do when you had that terror look. My daddy used to do the same thing to me. My daddy used to do this look like this. I give you perfect look. What do you say again? Say it again. Okay. That's what I thought. It better be done by the time I get back. That's all my dad had to say. That's all my dad had to say. Have it done by the time I get back. We knew what that meant. We knew. It wasn't no, man, oh daddy. No, we knew that. Because we knew how my dad was. And my dad only spanked us out of all the years I can remember. Dad only spanked all of us between me and my sisters and my siblings maybe 5 times. Because dad was nuts. Dad did not play. We knew when mama said, mama didn't spank us plenty of time. But when mama said, that's it, I had it. I am telling your daddy. Boy, dad came home, dishes done. I got his clothes laid out and shit. Bath water ran damn near. Favorite ice cream in a glass. Oh man, I'm telling you, man, like you just didn't fuck with dad. And when dad said, dad know when you done did something because he see all this nice stuff. What the hell you done did? Tell me now, and be honest, and it'll be okay. And 9 times out of 10, it would be okay. Be a little shouty, a little get in your little face a little bit, but then he'll calm down, eat his ice cream. You take your punishment because you know you're going to live to see another day. That's what we need back in these homes. That's why we didn't have kids out here doing this crazy shit that we got going now. Kids wasn't breaking in houses. Kids wasn't cussing out parents. Kids wasn't cussing out adults. You know what I'm saying? Kids wasn't just being mean to be mean. Especially little girls. They need fathers too. That's why these little girls so lost. Because daddy made sure that his baby girl was going to be taken care of. They
taught them how they were supposed to be treated.
Yeah, and how they supposed to be treated. So they wouldn't make rash decisions. But yeah, man, that's another thing that's got to be promoted. But again, my condolences go out to Mrs. D. Because Mrs. D, man, I'm telling you, that lady is a pillar of strength of what a mother's supposed to do to make sure that her child gets justice. She's not resting. And I hate to say it, but I'm quite sure this woman ain't had a chance to grieve properly. Because how can you grieve properly when you got to wait 55 days just to get an answer about your child being murdered when you know they were murdered? You wasn't crazy. You knew it happened. And now you still can't grieve because now you got to make sure that everything goes by due process. So please pray for this woman. This woman is going through it. Miss Dimitri going through it, bro. She needs it. And if nobody's not, don't understand that, y'all crazy. Because that lady needs it. So anyway, if you guys are in the Glenn County area, Wayne County area, on the 20th of July, they are going to be at Cracker Williams Park. It's a local park over here in Wayne County. Everybody's going to meet up and do a walk for Noah. It's going to be a peaceful walk. And, it ain't going to be no acting a fool, none of that. Everybody's going to be with dignity and pride and just put it out there that we're here, we're watching. The town is watching, and the town want answers, and they need answers because this could be anybody's child. Noah Bush can be any of you guys' children out here, not only in South Georgia, but anywhere in the United States. Anyway, anywhere. Noah could be your child. They could be your grandchild. They could be your brother. Could be your little nephew, your little cousin. So please, if you local out there, support. I'm gonna try to go out there if I can on my day off next weekend, and I will try to tell y'all what it is and everything. But please like, share, subscribe. Push this out there. I will keep y'all posted on any major developments that happen on this case. I love you guys. Take care of yourself and each other. I'm out.